Live from the National News Studio, Sri Lanka.
A very good evening and a warm welcome to the National News on Rupavahini's Channel I. I'm Dilanjali Ananda.
A very good evening indeed. I'm Kasani Balachandra Adhikari.
Now, many would believe that women should be celebrated every day, which is true, but unfortunately, women tend to be taken for granted. And that is why a date has been dedicated, a particular day is dedicated to celebrate women.
Indeed, while celebrating the courage, wisdom, achievements and strength of women worldwide, we at Rupavahini wish all of you a very happy International Women's Day. And with that, we start off with a look at your headlines for tonight.
President Anrukumar Dissanayake assures a pleasant future for the women community of this country on the International Women's Day today. The US State Department says it fully respects Sri Lanka's sovereignty and the right to take decisions. A haul of narcotics valued at more than 2 billion rupees in the multi-day fishing vessel taken into naval custody in the southern sea of Sri Lanka. Several warnings from Qatar amidst the Middle East crisis. T20 World Cup final between India and New Zealand is now in progress.
Now for this and other stories in detail. Now, as we mentioned in the beginning, today marks the Women's Day.
The theme of this year's Women's Day is the pride of a prosperous nation. She is the vanguard of the land. It was in 1857 in New York City, USA, that a group of textile factory workers marched in a parade demanding labor rights and equal heritage. That event stands as the first recorded women's march in history. Later, at the 1910 Socialist Women's Conference, it was proposed that March 8, the day women first fought for their freedom, be designated as International Women's Day. This proposal was first implemented in the United States and Germany, and today billions of women worldwide celebrate this day as the birthday of their liberation. In Sri Lanka, women constitute more than half of the population, specifically 52%. Furthermore, women provide a direct contribution of 29% to the nation's gross domestic product. In singular literature, one can find many tasteful descriptions of women. In most literary narrations, the radiant woman is depicted as an enchanting figure, while the intellect of women was underestimated in the past, with the saying, wisdom of the lady is akin to a handle of a spoon. Today, they utilize their profound intelligence to the maximum for the development of the country. The same hands that were once reserved only for rocking the cradle are now governing the world. Women are currently providing incomparable support to national development, support that is beyond calculation, while bringing immense value to their citizenship. Today's woman has come forward to share the burden of providing for her children and household, ensuring that the responsibility of quenching the pangs of hunger does not fall solely on the father. It is a matter of great joy for the entire female generation that the government is currently taking steps to provide the necessary recognition for this progressive female empowerment. The first ever appointment of female conductors to the Sri Lanka Transport Board is the most recent and striking evidence of this. A notable highlight is that these 25 female conductors, selected through interviews from various parts of the island, are individuals who have achieved high educational milestones, including diplomas and degrees. Ethnic or religious differences do not limit the inner strength, ability and talent possessed by women. From the north to the south, these women have accepted the challenges of this profession with a victorious mindset. Minister Sarojini Paulraj emphasized that women's economic empowerment serves as the vital foundation for their social activism and the full realization of their rights. To increase female participation in the workforce, the ministry aims to transform caregiving into a state responsibility by establishing daycare centers for children and strengthening elder care facilities, thereby releasing women from the constraints of unpaid domestic labor. Furthermore, she outlined a strategy to support women as entrepreneurs by providing them with access to credit without the need for guarantors and facilitating their entry into both national and international markets for their products. President Anrukumar Dissanayake states that creating women entrepreneurs who can contribute to the economic transformation in the country in the future by expanding women's entrepreneurship in a digital and green economy is one of the main objectives of the government.
He made these comments issuing a congratulatory message on the International Women's Day today. The role of women is unique in Sri Lanka, considering the economic, political, social and cultural aspects. The President pointed out that although women's rights, freedom and safety are specially mentioned today, it cannot be restricted to a single day since women play a significant role in all these areas. Women, who represent 52% of the population of the country, also represent a significant segment of the present economy of the country. They are contributing immensely in areas such as apros, estates, foreign employment, health, education and services, apart from the role they play as housewives without any salary. The President appreciated organizing the International Women's Day under the theme "She is the pride of a prosperous nation, a leading light of a nation," displaying the pride and strength of the Sri Lankan women to the world. The President invited the entire women community to join hands as leaders in the journey towards building a prosperous country in his message. Prime Minister Dr. Harini Amarasuriya says that the theme, "A Thriving Nation, a Beautiful Life," expects not only to convert women into a common beneficiary, but to provide her the opportunity to deserve as an active participant of the development of the country. This has been mentioned in the congratulatory message issued by the Prime Minister on the occasion of the International Women's Day. Women are a part of a society representing wisdom, endurance and creativity, not merely a group which is under the mercy of the entire society. The objective of the government is to create a rich country where the women will be able to travel without any fear, as well as where she will be appreciated for her skills while leading a respectable life, the Prime Minister stressed in her congratulatory message. Leader of the opposition, Sajith Premadasa, has also issued a message on the International Women's Day. He pointed out that it is the duty of everyone to provide all women their rights, justice and proper functioning for them. He added that guidance can be obtained regarding the mission to be fulfilled by women, taking into consideration the theme of the International Women's Day. The leader of the opposition in his message has mentioned that the highest homage we can pay to her on the International Women's Day is to determine to create the background where she can be awarded respectability, with the understanding that women are the creators of a civilization of the country and also creators the nation of any country.
Minister of Women and Child Affairs Saroja Savitri Palraj says that the responsibility of everyone is to convert women into active participants of the economy of the country without restricting them to the responsibilities of the family, rather restraining them, and also by providing proper value to the contribution. In a message on the International Women's Day, she added that the government dedicates itself in creating a proud Sri Lankan woman without discriminating her in rural and urban terms. In the "A Thriving Nation, Beautiful Life" theme of the government, it has been defined as not only raising the economic indicators but also to provide a respectable way of life to all citizens. She added that it is her belief that women will be given her right of taking decisions by creating a society where the woman will be awarded a proper esteem.
For President Anrukumar Dissanayake assures that a pleasant future will be created for the women community of the country.
Joining the Women's Day commemoration function of the National People's Power today, the President stressed the government will dedicate itself to create a state which will provide assurance to each woman and female child. The function under the theme "Women United When She Rises, the Nation Rises" was held at the PD Sirisena Stadium in Colombo. Prime Minister Dr. Harini Amarasuriya, Minister of Women and Child Affairs Saroja Savitri Palraj and representatives of women's organizations of the National People's Power representing all districts along with a large gathering joined the occasion.
ගුණාත්මක වෙන්න
Prime Minister Dr. Harini Amarasuriya addressed a gathering of the National People's Power Women's Movement, where she emphasized that their collective effort is currently dedicated to achieving a qualitative transformation across the social, cultural and economic landscapes of Sri Lanka. She observed that women's leadership is now visibly manifesting across all sectors and noted that this specific group of women represents a vital force within the massive changes seen throughout the country in 2024. The Prime Minister asserted that the progress currently being witnessed would not have been possible without the direct involvement and significant effort of women. While acknowledging that a long journey still lies ahead, she expressed her firm conviction that their shared goals would be made a reality. She concluded by stating that they continue to work with the unwavering belief that they are steadily approaching their ultimate objectives.
President Andrew Kumar Dissanayake acknowledged the significant role they play in the movement to build a people's government, noting that this is the first time such a massive number of women have gathered in one place. He observed that the stadium is overflowing with supporters, with thousands more unable to enter and lining the streets outside, and asserted that the best measure of a government's quality is the extent to which the country's women stand with it, viewing their presence as a symbol of public trust in his administration's governance. Drawing on poetic imagery, the President compares women to the earth and the sea, highlighting their strength and resilience. The President spoke of their courage in protecting their families and the challenges they face, acknowledging that many endure deep pain and hardship. He expressed his administration's primary goal is to transform this suffering into a future filled with smiles, envisioning a society rooted in humanity, where women can travel safely by bus, where children are free from the threat of abuse, and where no woman has to live in fear or insecurity. On the international stage, President Dissanayake positioned Sri Lanka not as a global power defined by size, wealth or advanced weaponry, but as a leader in humanity. The President emphasized that while other nations may engage in or support conflicts, Sri Lanka will stand at the forefront of the world by upholding the flag of human compassion. He concluded by stating that his vision is to make Sri Lanka a nation that the world looks up to for its commitment to humanitarian values during times of global crisis. Deputy Minister Dr. Kaushalya Ariyaratne says that engaging women in a manner useful to the national economy is one of the foremost priorities of the present government.
She made this observation expressing her views on the International Women's Day. Deputy Minister Dr. Kaushalya Ariyaratne stated that the Parliament of Sri Lanka has officially approved a proposal to formulate a national policy for unpaid care work. This initiative, spearheaded and passed by the Parliamentary Women's Caucus, seeks to formally recognize the domestic contributions of women. By integrating this policy into the national framework, the government aims to enhance women's participation in the economy under the Rebuilding Sri Lanka concept, ensuring their labour as a cornerstone of the nation's development during this year's National Women's Day commemorations. Consultant physician Professor Chamila Mettananda said that women in Sri Lanka enjoy a significantly higher level of respect compared to many other nations in South Asia. This status is deeply rooted in the country's unique cultural heritage, which traditionally values and honors women. While acknowledging that a small number of instances still exist where this respect is compromised, she emphasized that the national objective is to eliminate these gaps. The Deputy Inspector General of Police, Darshika Ranasinghe, representing Sri Lanka Police, reaffirmed the department's dedicated commitment to the safety of women and children to provide comprehensive protection. Specialized women's bureaus and dedicated units have been established across 607 police stations nationwide. Notably, Sri Lanka Police is currently recognized as the single institution with the largest female workforce in the country. She concluded with a message for National Women's Day, pledging continued efforts to safeguard the rights and aspirations of all women and children across the island.
The US State Department states that it fully respects Sri Lanka's sovereignty and its right to make decisions regarding the crew of the Iris Bushehr and Iris Dina vessels belonging to the Iranian Navy. Citing the US State Department, Reuters reports that the final decision regarding the rescued Iranian Navy personnel and the vessels is an independent matter for the government of Sri Lanka. The US State Department further notes that Sri Lanka holds full authority to deal with these individuals and the vessels in accordance with Sri Lanka's domestic laws as well as international legal obligations. Well, Qatar warns that oil and gas production in the Gulf region could come to a complete standstill in the coming days amid rising military tensions in the Middle East.
Consequently, crude oil prices in the world market have recorded their highest value in 2 years, which is believed to pose a severe impact on the global economy. Qatari Energy Minister Saad Al-Kaabi states that there is a risk of a global economic collapse due to disruptions in the energy supply caused by the Middle East conflicts. He points out that the price of a barrel of Brent crude has already risen by 9%, surpassing the $93 mark, and could soar to $150 if the conflict persists. Due to the disruption of transport through the Strait of Hormuz, there is an emerging threat of rising fuel prices and inflation in countries such as Britain and the United States. The Energy Minister further stated that Qatar Energy has temporarily suspended its production operations and other Gulf regional exporters may be forced to reach the same decision in the coming days. Amidst the escalating conflict in the Middle East, Iran has launched a drone attack on a desalination plant in Bahrain. Reports indicate that this is the first such attack targeting desalination plants, which fulfill a major percentage of the drinking water requirements for Gulf nations. The Bahraini Ministry of Interior stated that the Iranian drone strike on the water treatment facility caused extensive property damage. This attack was reported just 1 day after the Iranian foreign minister accused the United States of carrying out an attack on a water treatment center located in southern Iran. Statistics show that Gulf countries, including the United Arab Emirates, Kuwait and Saudi Arabia, meet more than 60% of their drinking water needs through such plants. Foreign media reports highlight that targeting these essential service centers during wartime poses a severe threat to the water supply of the entire region. Meanwhile, the Indonesian Foreign Ministry has announced that 3 of its crew members are missing after the UAE-owned vessel Muzaffar II exploded and sank in the Strait of Hormuz. Authorities noted that one survivor is currently receiving treatment at a hospital in Oman, while search operations for the missing and investigations into the incident remain ongoing. The Israeli military has issued a stern warning that it will target anyone appointed as Iran's next supreme leader. Following the death of Ayatollah Ali Khamenei in an attack on February 28th, the Israeli military posted a statement in Persian on social media declaring they would pursue whoever succeeds him. Furthermore, the Israeli military noted that members of the Assembly of Experts, the body responsible for appointing Iran's next supreme leader, are also among their targets. The Israeli military also announced that it has launched strikes on several fuel storage complexes in Tehran, Iran. The attacks targeted 3 oil storage facilities located in the Kohak, Shahran and Karaj areas. Iranian media reports have confirmed this, stating that a massive fire broke out at the Tehran refinery and that 2 missiles struck the refinery and an oil depot. The Israeli military maintains that this operation was carried out with the aim of intensifying the damage to the Iranian regime's military infrastructure. In response, Iran has stated that it will continue to launch attacks against Israeli and American targets located in the region. Meanwhile, a senior Iranian military spokesman told state television today that the Strait of Hormuz has not been closed, but vessels belonging to the United States or Israel will not be permitted to sail through it. Analysts suggest that Tehran is attempting to restrict specific maritime traffic rather than completely shutting down this strategic waterway. Police in Norway report that a powerful explosion was heard early this morning near the US Embassy in the capital, Oslo. The cause of the blast and those responsible have not yet been revealed. Reports indicate that while the explosion caused minor property damage, no injuries have been reported. Foreign media reports indicate that the administration of US President Donald Trump has approved the sale of over 20,000 bombs valued at approximately $650 million to Israel. It is further reported that the Trump administration bypassed the US Congress to facilitate this move. U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio stated that the decision to waive congressional review requirements was made due to an emergency need for the immediate sale of military equipment to Israel. Additionally, Israel is set to purchase another $298 million worth of military weaponry through direct commercial deals. U.S. Central Command reports that during the first week of Operation Epic Fury, the United States has struck over 3,000 military targets in Iran and completely destroyed more than 30 Iranian vessels. The civilian death toll from these strikes has risen to 1,332, while Iran reports that thousands more have been injured. Additionally, thousands of individuals are said to have been displaced by the ongoing conflict. Meanwhile, Saudi Arabia has informed Tehran that while it is willing to facilitate a diplomatic solution to the ongoing conflict between the US and Iran, it will not hesitate to retaliate in kind if Saudi Arabia or its energy sector continues to come under attack.
A stock of narcotic valued at nearly 2.8 billion rupees was detected from a multi-day fishing craft taken into the custody of the Navy in the southern seas of Sri Lanka today. The contraband recovered included 103 kilos of heroin and 900 grams of cocaine. The suspected local fishing boat was apprehended in a search operation carried out around 700 kilometers away in the deep seas south of the island. 6 suspects have also taken into custody in the raid. The fishing craft was brought to the Dikkovita Fisheries Harbour this morning. The illegal stock of drugs has also come under the inspection of Deputy Minister of Defence, retired Major General Aruna Jayasekara, and Navy Commander Vice Admiral Kanchana Banaguda. The narcotics along with the suspects were handed over to the Police Anti-Narcotics Bureau for further investigations.
Authorities have taken measures to consolidate protection of the Peradeniya University's student community. Vice-Chancellor of the University, Peradeniya University, Professor Terence Madhujit, says that leopards have been sighted in several areas of the university. A special security guidance has been issued to the students and the staff by taking into consideration of the threatening situation. It has also been reported that a number of attacks on farm animals by the roaming leopards have been observed at the veterinary teaching farm, and the university adds that these reports have been verified. Therefore, the management informs all concerned to refrain from walking in the university premises in the night and at dawn. The Vice-Chancellor, upon inquiry, further said the relevant divisions have been instructed to set up danger warnings in the premises. Now, mainly dry weather will prevail over the island except for showers or thunder showers that may occur at a few places in southern province and Ratnapura, Colombo and Kaltara districts. Misty conditions can be expected at some places in western, north-central, Sabaragamuwa, Uva and northwestern provinces and in Mannar, Vaunia, Gaul and Mathura districts during the early hours of the morning. And that's all the news we have from home. Stay tuned for international stories coming up next.
And in your sports news tonight, the finals of the T20 World Cup cricket tournament between India and New Zealand is now in progress.
India batting first were 255 runs for the loss of 5 wickets in their 20 overs. The final is being played at the Narendra Modi International Cricket Stadium, considered the largest cricket stadium in the world, in Ahmedabad, India. Winning the toss, New Zealand invited India to bat first. Accordingly, Sanuj Samson and Abhishek Sharma opened the innings and added a strong partnership of 98 runs for the first wicket. Abhishek Sharma was out for 52 runs as first wicket to fall in the Indian innings to a ball from Rachin Ravindra. He scored a brisk half-century in 18 balls.
But it's over there, slip my. And again, he's just walking.
And with that, we wind up tonight's English news of Rupavahini. I'm Kasni Palachandradhikari signing off together with Dulanjali Abhikho.
Good night.